What's up guys, Caleb here, and excuse me because I'm in a bit of a different spot. I'm currently staying at my grandparents' house in Ohio for about a week for Easter. But I found a box, and this is a box that I've not seen in a long time, and as you can see it says Lego on it. This special box here basically has a bunch of figures from my dad's childhood, which was like late 80s, early 90s, possibly early 2000s. I used to play around with this Lego bin a lot when I came into my grandparents' house, but I have not opened it in probably at least 5 years. It's been a really long time since I actually took a look at this very old Lego box. So I found it, and I thought it might be interesting to kind of, I don't know, get my raw reaction because I have not opened it yet. I have saved my raw reaction for this video, so I have not seen the figures inside yet, but I know it's going to be a bunch of very, very old stuff that I probably don't even know, like, what it is even. I have no idea what's going to be in here. So without further ado, I think I'm going to go ahead and open this box up. So a little clip here, and there we go. We are inside. I'm just going to go through, like, most of the stuff here. So first off, what I mostly see is a bunch of very old horses. In fact, here's another horse with an Indian. I love this sort of, like, Indian hat piece. Like, that is... It's a very cool piece, and you know, Lego doesn't really make Native Americans anymore, but it's a very, very cool headpiece. We have some sort of like paddleboard piece? I'm not even really sure what that is. We have a couple sort of just like bricks sitting there. This is sort of like a double stacked head with this really sort of wild face. I'm not sure what that face is. We have sort of this skeleton of like an old motorbike, I want to say it is. There's no wheels or figures in it. Okay, this is cool. This is like an old general store sort of like door piece. That's something I don't think I've ever actually seen before. We have a bunch of like really scattered parts, stuff like this sort of thing, where it's just like really kind of random. We have dude in red. No Star Wars stuff so far, but we do have, I assume this is sort of like Sharpie. There's no way it's actual Lego. Ooh, this guy's cool. It's like, he's got this sort of pink horse shirt and an axe, and yeah, there's quite a bit of like parts in here, so I'm just kind of picking out the most interesting parts, like this sort of shield piece. We have a giant helmet piece, which is like, it doesn't fit on your normal figure. Like, this thing is massive, so I'm not really sure what this actually belongs on. We have some sort of little explorer guy who does not have any pants on. Pretty epic. So far, still no Lego Star Wars. Really just like a bunch of scattered parts with this sort of... All of them have this sunglasses piece, I swear, man. So I believe this is some sort of like Native American torso piece, which is pretty dope. So like there's a bunch of cowboy stuff in here and pirates, stuff like that. I love this headpiece. This is like a incredible headpiece. Oh, alright, this has got to be Star Wars. So this, I want to say, is an old Jedi robe. It's actually flipped backwards, but this has got to be a Jedi, right? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure this is like a Jedi robe. This one's certainly one of the most unique ones we've had so far. Some sort of like robotics thing. Is this samurai hair? This looks like samurai hair. I'm not sure. It looks like a samurai sort of bun. We have what might be like a blue business suit. Really not sure with that one. So there's like this guy here. We have another sort of like robotic chess piece, which looks interesting. I found these two guys here, and it looks almost like soldier uniforms, which I think is interesting, which it probably isn't soldier uniforms, but like, it could be. So it's very interesting to see that sort of thing. There's also a dude with a kind of red vest, which just looks dope. We have like a female blouse. You can tell there's like hardly any female minifig parts in here, which is interesting. Like, Lego was not making very many female minifigs back then. This is a very, very bland looking individual. We have another army thing. So 4 of these. That's surprising. I don't know what, they've got to be from like pirates or something, like pirate soldiers or something. Another one. That's 5 now. That is crazy. Got this sort of pirate uniform without a head, which is kind of funny. We have wow, what is this? So it's like a police figure, but it has some wild chest printing and like helmet printing, which you don't see very often. We have 2 Star Wars torsos. So we have like, it's gotta be from the old X-Wing set, I think. And then this is from, I'm not even sure what this is from, but these are 2 super old. Like, these have to be at least 20 years old, which is like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy seeing Lego Star Wars stuff this old. I found 2 sort of police uniforms, which look kind of interesting. This has to be my favorite torso printing ever. This is, like, it's got the cards on them. Like, that is, it's so cool. Yes, you have not had a childhood with Lego unless you have Sharpied on a brick. And, of course I have, and it looks like my dad followed in those same footsteps. No, I followed in his footsteps. We have another sort of like tropical torso piece. Here is a cowboy hat with a star on it, and it looks like the Cowboys football team, which is kind of cool. Here is a Native American headpiece, which is something Lego is probably never gonna make again, but it's a cool sort of like, I don't know, cool sort of piece that reminds you of what Lego once was and how much they've changed over the past sort of 20, 30 years, I think. Just me, like, my dad had quite a bit of these sort of rescue sort of like printed, I don't know, like shirts stuff. Must have been like a line back then, I guess. I don't know. This one says M on it. Not even sure what that's from. This is like a fiery helmet. It's a cool one. We have a skeleton piece as well as a leg I found. Same sort of skeleton body that Lego still uses to this day, 30 years later. This torso here is so old and worn down that it only has one arm and has something stuck in the bottom. And then also the sort of like overalls it is wearing are literally like rubbing off. So this might be the oldest, I have no idea. It looks the oldest. Oh, this is so cool. So this is like a Native American shield piece, which is ridiculously detailed. Like Lego doesn't even make shields this detailed in 2022. This looks to me like some sort of like old explorer hat. I like the look of that. We have like a jousting pole. I'm not even sure what it's called. Vault? No, it's not a vault. I don't know what it's called. Some more sort of old blue armor with the hands literally like spinning. Like you can spin it on there, which is it means it's really old. We have maybe the most sun-faded white brick I think I've ever seen. Here is a Sphinx headpiece, which is really cool. I don't think I've ever actually owned like a Sphinx headpiece like that. We have this, which I don't think it's Lego. I'm not 100% sure. Very sort of bendy. Like, it might be Lego. I have no idea, but it kind of spreads apart. Very, very interesting. I've never seen any piece like this. So let me know if you actually think this is Lego, because I have no idea. We have a second old Wild West cowboy hat with a white star on it, which is weird. It's cool. It's like Indian feathers, which I don't think I've ever seen. I didn't know this was actually a piece. This here is just a straight up dope headpiece. I mean, like, that mustache though. We have a very old, sun-faded, and kind of rubbed out, like, nurse piece. This also looks very, very old and worn down. This is so cool. This is like a whole Native American torso, which, you know, is so detailed. It looks to be almost like a race car driver with the little Octane logo on it. This is like legs with the little leaves covering the you-know-what, and that's so pretty cool. A ridiculous amount of life vests as well. So there's probably like 8, 10 of these, like, massive oversized life vests, which is also interesting. We have a couple sort of busted up wagon wheels sitting in there, which is cool sort of Wild West stuff. This is a wild looking torso with a like printing on the chest there. I like it. This I doubt is Lego. It doesn't feel Lego, so I don't know what that's about. Another little sort of shield piece from medieval times, which is cool. This is the sort of thing where I could search through here all day. You can see there's still a fair amount of parts left, but almost all of the parts left are just boring sort of headpieces and a bunch of kind of scattered blank legs, which aren't super interesting to look at. So I've just taken sort of what was off the top that I thought looked interesting. I could dig through here for hours, like do a live stream or something of me just like sorting out all this stuff, because I have no idea what a lot of this is, and I definitely didn't go through all of it. I just think it's cool to kind of look back at what Lego was, like, as a company, because it's very different. They had all of these other crazy themes, like cowboys and pirates and police and, you know, Indians, like Native Americans. Like, there's a lot of stuff that Lego does not make at all today, back then in like the 80s and 90s. So it is always interesting to sort of take a look at Lego's past and what Lego was just as a company beforehand, because you never know what you can find in this box. So thank you guys for watching this very, very interesting, fun video to make, unlike any other sort of video I've done before. But let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section below. This is Super Productions signing off for now. Make sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to stay up to date with my latest content. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.